Hey friends! It's been over 40 years since the Thorn Birds captivated audiences with its epic saga in 1983. Curious how the cast looks today in 2024. Join us for a journey back to the Australian outback, where we'll see the actors behind Maggie, Ralph, Mary Carson, and the rest of the unforgettable characters. We'll reveal their real names, ages, and what paths they've taken since the miniseries. Did Rachel Ward retain her youthful beauty? Let's find out. Number 1. Richard Chamberlain as Ralph de Bricassar, Sergeant Getrier, might seem like a tough nut to crack. Keeps his cool on the surface, but rumors say there's a whole lot going on underneath. Maybe a quick temper, maybe hidden worries. You just can't tell. One thing's for sure. This guy isn't all sunshine and rainbows. He might yell a lot, might bend the rules a bit sometimes, but you get the feeling he gets the job done. He might challenge your ideas about what's right and wrong, but hey, that can't be a bad thing, right? Richard rose to fame in the 1960s as the heartthrob Dr. Kildare. While his good looks initially overshadowed his acting ability, he broke free from that label with time. He went on to star in some of the most popular miniseries ever made, including Shogun, Centennial, and the unforgettable The Thorn Birds. These projects showcased his dramatic range and acting prowess. Richard wasn't limited to television. He thrived on the stage, earning critical acclaim for his theatrical performances on both sides of the Atlantic. This demonstrated his dedication to the craft of acting and his desire to challenge himself beyond the small screen. One of Richard's most significant moments came with his decision to come out as a gay man. For decades, he felt pressured to conceal his sexuality in Hollywood. However, by embracing his truth, he inspired countless others and served as a role model for LGBTQ+ visibility. Richard's talents extend beyond acting. He found success in a second career as a visual artist. This pursuit allowed him to express himself creatively in a different way, adding another dimension to his multifaceted personality. Ralph de Bricassar played by Richard Chamberlain when he was 49 years old, and now he is 90 years old. Number 2. Rachel Ward as Maggie Cleary. Maggie Cleary didn't come from much, but that never stopped her. She grew up tough and determined, and nothing was going to hold her back. Even as a kid, her curiosity burned bright. She always had questions and a thirst for knowledge, like a sponge soaking up everything around her. Family is what matters most to Maggie. They're her rock, and she's fiercely loyal, especially to her mom. There's nothing she wouldn't do for the people she loves. Rachel Ward rose to fame in the sizzling miniseries The Thorn Birds. The chemistry between her and co-star Brian Brown was undeniable, and their love story on screen had everyone hooked. She quickly moved from TV to movies, starring in a bunch of cool films. There was Against All Odds with Jeff Bridges, a movie full of suspense and romance. Then came the wacky comedy detective flick Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid with Steve Martin. She also showed her dramatic chops in The Final Cut, 1995, a movie that makes you think about memory and who you really are. But wait, there's more. Rachel didn't stop at acting. In 2009, she directed her first film, Beautiful Kate. Set in the Australian outback, it's a family drama that tackles the secrets families keep. It was clear she had a knack for storytelling. On top of all that, Rachel cares deeply about the environment. She fights to protect nature and spreads the word about climate change. Rachel Ward's journey from model to actress to director and activist is truly inspiring. Maggie Cleary played by Rachel Ward when she was 26 years old, and now she is 66 years old. Number 3. Christopher Plummer as Archbishop Victorio Cantini Vercesi. Everyone's talking about Archbishop Cantini Vercesi. Super smart, always does the right thing, seems like he has it all figured out. But here's the thing. Rumors say there's more to him than meets the eye. Apparently, this Archbishop dude is battling some serious inner struggles. Imagine a calm beach with giant waves crashing against it. That's kind of the vibe he gives off. We'll see if he can weather the storm. Classically trained, Christopher rose to prominence on both sides of the Atlantic. He excelled in Shakespearean roles and became a mainstay with prestigious theater companies. His stage prowess established him as one of the finest performers of his generation. While Christopher's stage career flourished, he also ventured into film. His portrayal of Captain Von Trapp in The Sound of Music propelled him to international fame. However, despite consistent work, many projects during this period didn't match his acting caliber. The late 90s marked a significant shift. Christopher's nuanced performance as John Barrymore in Barrymore earned him a Tony Award and reignited critical acclaim. He transitioned to in-demand character actor status. From portraying Mike Wallace in The Insider to captivating roles in The New World and Syriana, Christopher showcased his versatility on the big screen. He returned to Broadway occasionally, like his critically acclaimed performance in King Lear. Christopher's dedication finally received its ultimate recognition. His performance in Beginners earned him a well-deserved Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. This capped off a remarkable career that defied categorization. Archbishop Victorio Cantini Vercesi, played by Christopher Plummer when he was 54 years old. Sadly, Plummer died after a fall that resulted in a blow to the head at his home in Weston on February 5, 2021, at the age of 91. Number 4. Brian Brown as Luke ONeal. Luke's a bit of a quiet guy, but he lets his actions speak louder than words. He's got a strong sense of what's right and wrong, and he won't back down from a fight for what's fair. There's something about him, a mix of toughness and a steely willpower that makes him interesting. He keeps things close to the vest, so you never quite know what he's thinking, but every move he makes keeps you guessing. In the 70s and 80s, Brian dominated Australian cinema. He wasn't just a leading man. He brought depth and complexity to roles in landmark films like Breaker Morant and Stir. His performances resonated with audiences and established him as a national treasure. Hollywood beckoned, and Brian took the leap. While films like FX and Cocktail showcased his charisma, the characters often lacked the nuance he brought to his Australian roles. Independent films proved to be a better fit. Projects like Two Hands with Heath Ledger allowed him to explore the complexities of seemingly stoic characters. These roles highlighted his ability to delve deeper and showcase a wider range of emotions. Throughout his career, Brian prioritized quality over box office numbers. He consistently gravitated towards projects that challenged him as an actor, even if they didn't guarantee blockbuster status. Luke ONeal played by Brian Brown when he was 36 years old, and now he is 76 years old. Number 5. Brett Cullen as Bob Cleary. Bob might seem all calm and collected on the outside, but deep down, he's got a huge heart full of love for his sons. He's not just a regular dad, though. He's more like a guiding light, helping them find their way without telling them exactly what to do. He lets them shine on their own, but is always there to support them. It's a tough balance to strike, but Bob seems to have it figured out. A Texan at heart, Brett embarked on his acting journey with studies in college. Landing television roles in his 20s, he honed his skills on projects like the miniseries The Thorn Birds and the soap opera Falcon Crest. These early appearances laid the groundwork for his future success. Never one to shy away from hard work, Brett seamlessly transitioned between one-off television spots and occasional film roles. He even landed the lead in the Western series Legacy, showcasing his leading man potential. Although the show was short-lived, it proved his ability to carry a series. The mid-2000s marked a golden period for Brett. He became a familiar face on prestigious dramas like The West Wing and Lost, delivering memorable performances in recurring roles. His ability to portray diverse characters within a short period cemented his reputation as a dependable actor. While television remained his primary focus, Brett also ventured into feature films. He secured roles in big-budget productions like The Dark Knight Rises, showcasing his range beyond television dramas. With his commanding presence and ability to convey authority, Brett often found himself cast in roles that demanded a sense of stoicism and strength. He became a go-to actor for characters who exude quiet power. Bob Cleary played by Brett Cullen when he was 27 years old, and now he is 67 years old. Number 6. Stephanie Pharisee as Judy feels most at home outdoors. She loves the wildness of nature, the big open spaces, the peace and quiet, even the unpredictable storms. It gives her strength and a sense of freedom. You can tell she has a deep connection with everything around her. Judy's a bit different, that's for sure, and she's on a journey to figure out who she is and what she wants. Her passion for life is contagious, and you can't help but be drawn to her story. Stephanie Pharisee has carved a niche for herself as a stellar supporting actress. Across film and television, she consistently elevates projects with her performances. From heartwarming comedies to thrilling action films, she brings depth and humor to every role. Pharisee boasts an impressive filmography spanning decades. Some of her most recognizable films include cult classics like Hocus Pocus and critically acclaimed features like Sideways. Her television appearances range from sitcoms like The Goldbergs to dramatic miniseries. Early in her career, Stephanie landed roles in films like Heaven Can Wait and television shows like Masked. These projects showcased her comedic timing and dramatic range, setting the stage for future success. Never one to shy away from work, Stephanie has consistently appeared in various film and television projects throughout her career. Recent appearances include shows like Uncoupled and movies like Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates. Judy played by Stephanie Pharisee when she was 51 years old, and now she is 72 years old. Number 7. Barry Corbin as Pete. In a world where people come and go, Pete's the kind of friend you can always count on. He's always there to lend a hand, no matter what. Just having him around makes you feel better, like you can handle anything. Pete's super loyal. His friends are his family, and he'd do anything for them. Even when things get tough, Pete never gives up. He's a true rock. Born in Texas, Barry developed a fascination with character actors from a young age. This passion fueled his journey, leading him to stages across the country, honing his craft before stepping onto the big screen. Urban Cowboy marked Barry's film debut in 1980. This launched a prolific period where he became a familiar face in Hollywood. He excelled at portraying ornery cowboys, tough lawmen, and military figures. However, his range extended beyond these archetypes. He could also portray a kind father or mentor, showcasing his depth as an actor. Barry's portrayal of Maurice Minifield in Northern Exposure became a career highlight. This character allowed him to showcase his full range, menacing, wistful, and undeniably funny. The role earned him critical acclaim, including 2 Emmy nominations. Beyond Northern Exposure, Barry continued to find success. He appeared in films like No Country for Old Men and television shows like One Tree Hill. His consistent work ethic and ability to breathe life into diverse characters made him a favorite among directors and producers. Pete was played by Barry Corbin when he was 43 years old, and now he is 83 years old. Number 8. John Delancey as Alistair McQueen. Alistair's got a certain charm about him that makes you want to get to know him better. There's something intriguing about him, like he's got a secret past. But behind his smile, you sometimes sense a bit of sadness, like he's carrying a burden. Alistair's a complex character. He doesn't say much, but his every move and look seems to have meaning. You can't help but be drawn in, and you wonder what his story is. John is undeniably best known for his portrayal of the omnipotent Q in Star Trek: The Next Generation and subsequent series. This iconic role solidified his place in science fiction history. While sci-fi stardom is undeniable, John's career extends far beyond. He has guest starred on countless television shows, from dramas like Hill Street Blues and The West Wing to the iconic Murder, She Wrote. John's adaptability is evident in his filmography. He held a long-running role on the soap opera Days of Our Lives and appeared in the miniseries The THORN Birds. These diverse projects showcased his range as an actor. While television remains his primary focus, John has ventured into feature films. He appeared in movies like The Hand That Rocks the Cradle and the critically acclaimed The Fisher King. More recently, he took on a role in the critically acclaimed drama series Breaking Bad. Alistair McQueen was played by John Delany when he was 35 years old, and now he is 76 years old. Number 9. Barbara Stanwyck as Mary Carson. Mary Carson is the undisputed boss of Drogheda Station. She's powerful, ambitious, and likes to be in control. No question about it. She's sharp as a tack and knows how to use her money and influence to get what she wants. Think of her like a queen bee, running the show and keeping everyone in line. Stanwyck's brilliance lay in her versatility. She could seamlessly transform into any role, be it a comedic charmer in The Lady Eve or a fiercely independent woman in Stella Dallas. She wasn't afraid to take on complex characters, from vulnerable to villainous, in films like Double Indemnity. Despite humble beginnings, Stanwyck rose to become one of Hollywood's highest-paid actresses. Her shrewd investments further solidified her financial independence. While beloved by her peers, Stanwyck chose a more private life in her later years. This duality, the adored public persona and the guarded recluse, adds another layer of intrigue to her story. Tall and blonde, Nina Foch transitioned from being a B-film lead in the 1940s to a character actress in the 1950s. Often portraying cool, aloof women whose sophistication barely concealed their insecurities. She made a notable impression as one of Bela Lugosi's victims in Return of the Vampire and delivered another memorable performance as a distressed heroine in Joseph H. Lewis's gothic noir, My Name is Julia Ross. Foch is perhaps best remembered for her striking role as Milo, the wealthy arts patron trying to win over painter Jerry Mulligan in Vincente Minnelli's Oscar-winning An American in Paris. She also earned an Oscar nomination for her role as a loyal secretary in the star-studded Executive Suite. Additionally, she appeared as one of the fleeing Israelites in Cecil B. DeMille's classic The Ten Commandments. Bithia is played by Nina Foch when she was 41 years old. Sadly, Foch died from blood disorder on December 5, 2008, aged 84, at the Ronald Reagan UCLA Medical Center. Number 10. Martha Scott as Ybel. If there's anyone who can handle tough times, it's Yocheved, Moses' mom. This mama bear is super strong and brave, more courageous than a lion. Her love for her son is endless, bigger than the Nile itself. No matter how many problems come her way, Yocheved never gives up. She has a strong faith that keeps her going, like a light in the dark. Get ready for an amazing story. Yocheved's journey is all about fierce love for her son and a mother's unwavering belief in him. It shows just how powerful a mom's heart can be. Martha Scott, an attractive and accomplished actress, began her professional career performing in Shakespearean productions at the 1933-34 Chicago World's Fair. After refining her skills in stock theater and on radio, she gained significant recognition for her portrayal of Emily in the 1938 original Broadway production of Thornton Wilder's Pulitzer-winning Our Town. This role earned her a Best Supporting Actress Oscar nomination in 1940 for her film debut, reprising the same character. In The Desperate Hours, Scott was stalwart as the wife and mother of a family held hostage by Humphrey Bogart. She also played the mother of Charlton Heston in two 1950s biblical epics, Cecil B. DeMille's The Ten Commandments and William Wyler's Oscar-winning Ben-Hur. After a hiatus of about 15 years, Scott returned to the screen as a nun aboard a distressed plane in the sequel Airport 1975, and delivered a memorable performance as a ballet company manager in Herbert Ross's The Turning Point. Ybel played by Martha Scott when she was 44 years old. Scott died on May 28, 2003, in Van Nuys, Los Angeles, aged 90, from natural causes. Number 11. Judith Anderson as Mnet wasn't one to sugarcoat things. She called it like she saw it, and even royalty wasn't safe from her sharp wit. This lady was a walking encyclopedia of history, and she was fiercely loyal to those she cared about. In her opinion, the 19th dynasty was the golden age of Egypt, with Ramesses II as the best pharaoh ever. Pharaoh Sethi I definitely made the right call choosing her as an advisor, but Mnet wouldn't hesitate to speak her mind if he was making a mistake. She wasn't afraid to tell him if his plans were a bunch of hot air. Judith's journey began in Australia, where her raw talent ignited local stages. This brilliance propelled her to the bright lights of Broadway, where she captivated audiences with her performances. Hollywood, too, recognized her undeniable presence, especially in Alfred Hitchcock's chilling masterpiece, Rebecca. Judith wasn't one to be confined to the silver screen. Television became her new dominion, and she defied age barriers, gracing the small screen well into her golden years. A true force of versatility, she captivated audiences for over 7 decades, leaving an indelible mark on the global entertainment landscape. Mnet was played by Judith Anderson when she was 59 years old. Sadly, Anderson spent much of her life in Santa Barbara, California, where she died of pneumonia in 1992, aged 94. Number 12. Vincent Price as Baka Baka's the big cheese when it comes to building things for Pharaoh Sethi. He's super ambitious and will do whatever it takes to get ahead. The problem is, he doesn't care who he steps on to get there. Baka treats the workers like tools. They're there to do his bidding and nothing else. He doesn't have a heart of gold, that's for sure. In fact, he thinks he's better than everyone else. Just look at how he talks down to Lelia, the slave girl. It shows how he sees people he thinks are below him. Vincent Price's career began not in Hollywood, but on the stages of London, where he brought Shakespearean plays to life with his powerful voice. Eventually, he made his way to Hollywood, where his path took a spooky turn. Financial independence. While beloved by her peers, while Price started with supporting roles and sometimes played a romantic lead, it was the horror genre that truly made him famous. His distinctive looks and smooth voice made him perfect for creepy roles in movies like House of Wax and The Raven. He worked with horror legends like Roger Corman, cementing his status as a horror icon. But Price wasn't just about horror. He had fun with campy B-movies, bringing a sense of humor and charm to them. He even lent his voice to Michael Jackson's